everybody. This is Jenna.
And I'm Noelle.
And this is More Than Murder, where we delve into everything eerie with a side of true crime.
More Than Murder is not your typical true crime podcast. Join us on a weekly tour through the haunted, the bloody, the creepy, and the nutty on our Freaky Fridays.
Hi, welcome back, listeners.
Yes, welcome.
Welcome, one and all.
One and all.
Inside joke there for you. Yeah. So, we are just so happy to have you here.
Of course.
Without you guys, we're nothing.
We wouldn't even be here.
Nothing. So, for today's episode, we have another haunted destination.
We've just been in such haunted moods.
Dude, I've been watching all the shows again and doing all the things because I'm just like, want to be in a haunted place.
I know.
Hunt ghosts and so this is the way that I can kind of do that.
The urge gets real, yo.
Live vicariously through everybody else.
Yeah.
So today we have an old as hell psychiatric hospital in Michigan.
Ooh, sweet.
This place is said to be the most haunted locale in Michigan.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
In all of Michigan.
All of Michigan.
Michigan.
Okay. Michigan, yes. It is large and so scary, so let's just jump right in.
It is large. It is quite large.
Large and in charge, and we'll get into it because
It's got a scary smokestack.
The complexes alone, which really don't exist anymore, is even bigger than that. So this place was massive.
Okay.
Yeah. So Eloise Psychiatric Hospital is located in Westland, Michigan. I think it's like pretty close to Detroit. It's not very far from like the big city of Detroit.
Okay.
It opened in 1839, originally as a poorhouse named the Wayne County Poor Farm. So, kind of like
Farm.
Rolling Hills, always with the fucking farm shit. And if we listened back...
That's huge for a poorhouse.
You will see... Well, we'll get into... It started out as a smaller type of thing.
Yeah.
So, if you did listen to our earlier episodes, I covered Rolling Hills, which started out as the same type of thing. Poorhouses were places that housed the poor, the mentally ill, drunkards, and orphans. Pretty much just scattered all within. They were often referred to as farms or almshouses, which is just awful. I think they used the term farm because they had a farm. You know, it isn't a great name, but I think that's the thinking behind it. So it started out with just a few buildings. The old stagecoach stop was the original building that was there, and it had been there since Wayne County bought the property.
Okay.
This section became the keepers' quarters, and it must have been the folks who worked on the property. They also built another A-frame structure to house the inmates. Their term, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
And there was not much separation, of course, between the poor and the mentally ill. They were all just in this A-frame together, but they tried to kind of keep them away, so they were usually chained up, and they resided on the upper floor with the pigs.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. And it, of course, because it's an asylum and a psychiatric hospital, things are going to get fucking worse.
Oh, yeah.
So they also built a cookhouse behind the patient's quarters. This was another A-frame building. This was for, of course, cooking, which I believe the inmates did all themselves. So it was just completely sufficient. Mm-hmm. Of course, like I just said, the land was, of course, sufficient. And Eloise, though, took it they were extra with their self-sufficiency.
Why?
This was a legit tiny city. And at one point, it had its own zip code.
Oh, wow.
The complex, as it was called, had a police station, a fire hall, farm with cattle herds, greenhouses, tobacco fields, a cannery, a bakery, amusement hall, and a post office.
Holy moly.
It was huge.
That's pretty cool.
Huge, yeah.
For what it was.
I know. It's the Eloise complex. It was just this big thing. You know, people would come and they'd work at the bakery or, you know, on the farms or whatever. And it was his own little place.
Yeah, I think that's pretty neat. Right.
So the post office was named Eloise after the Postmaster General's daughter.
Okay.
So there is a picture of her on the document with her little doggie. She was so cute.
A big doggie.
The picture was actually hung in the lobby of one of the buildings. So she was an important part of a kind of terrible place. But it started out, he wanted to take it in a very good direction and kind of make it better. And I think, things did get a little bit better, but of course it's going to decline from there. In 1872, the name was changed to the Wayne County Alms House. And then again, it was changed to the Wayne County House. So I couldn't find a definitive why or when it was changed to Eloise or anything like that, or if it was changed or it just kind of became Eloise.
A nickname for it.
Because even that smokestack that you can see, if you look really close, you can see Eloise is like carved down the smokestack. So it definitely was the Eloise complex. Every news article you find on the place, it says Eloise Hospital. So it definitely was Eloise. It's still known as Eloise. I just don't know exactly when that came about.
Yeah.
So by 1913, they broke off the complex into 3 different main divisions. They had the Eloise Hospital and then the Eloise Infirmary. So this was like the general hospital, asylum type areas. And then they also had the Eloise Sanatorium. This was a TB hospital because people were getting the disease and they realized, okay, we need to kind of section them off from other people. Mm-hmm. At the height of Eloise, there were over 70 buildings.
Holy crap.
Spanning 902 acres.
I was going to say, how big is the property?
It's big. It's shrunk now. It's not as big or grand as it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, over 70 buildings spanning 902 acres.
Holy crap.
Yes.
They had to drive around the...
Yeah, people probably just lived on the complex. It was a town.
Yeah.
It was just, it's nuts. So, in their height, they cared for around 10,000 patients per day. This is over all of the buildings and complexes. Ooh. And they housed 2,000 staff members. So, in the whole entire complex, there was about 12,000 people either working or living in the area.
I was just trying to see, because I know in the past, with psych wards and TB hospitals and things like that, what we often run into is too many people versus not enough staff. So I'm trying to do the math. Is 2,000
I don't think
workers
it's
enough
good. No.
for 10,000?
No, and I don't know. So I don't know, based on the 10,000 that's over all buildings, so I don't know how each building had and who had each building. It did say that 50% were mentally ill of that number. So I think it was pretty, the psych portion of it was very, very big.
Yeah.
And then you have your general hospital, which is you got your sick people, your emergency area probably. Mm-hmm. It was a general hospital, so not as many people probably staying for as long as in a mental institution. Yeah.
So they definitely needed more people.
Probably, yeah. Fucking probably, because we're going to get into how bad it gets.
Okay. Sweet.
Oh, yeah. So most of these buildings are long gone, unfortunately. They're due to decay or redevelopment of the property.
They didn't keep them around, I wonder.
No, they didn't. There are some, and I'll get into what is still there. I know.
It'd be so cool
to just have that compound little town.
I know, to walk around it and be I get butterflies just thinking about it.
It'd be so fucking cool. So the K building or D building is still standing, and this is the building that has become notorious for the haunted energy. So that's that
seems
main building.
The largest building.
It's close to about 200,000 square feet.
Wow.
Yeah, It's a pretty large, hefty building, and it's 7 floors. I think it's very tall and very scary. So that is the main building that you can see in the document that will be on the blog as well. So now we're going to focus on the psychiatric hospital portion and all the terrible shit that occurred within those walls, because that's just, especially American history.
How it goes.
It's just fucking how it goes, and it's awful.
Just like half of the other disgusting shit in America. It's just how it goes.
Just how it goes.
Because America, they're great.
Yeah. According to the EloiseHauntedTour.com website, it was the largest asylum in the country.
I can see it.
Yeah, and the complex alone was huge. It was just...
Although some of the other asylums were also very, very, very large, so I feel like everybody thinks their place is the most largest, the most haunted, the most this, the most that.
Yeah.
Because everything we read, it's the most haunted this. Oh no, my place is the most haunted this. No, my place says it's the most haunted this.
Even in my research, it said, the most haunted in Michigan, but then some were in the world, or in America, the most haunted in America.
Yeah, it's
always like that,
Yeah. It's exaggerated.
And that's why I don't include, like, I think in Rolling Hills I didn't include something like that because I heard it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm
like the most haunted in New York State. Like, bitch, we were just somewhere that was hella fucking haunted, if you ask me. So you don't know what is the most anywhere because there are smaller buildings and locations people have never even...
Exactly. That's what's so hard about it. Like, you say... all of these big things, and because people are going in there more often and things are happening, of course they're gonna, it's the most haunted, but you don't know.
I know. People's houses could be more haunted than that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know.
Yeah. You want us to come into your house?
Yeah.
Do a little ghost hunt?
Yeah.
Call us, the MTMPG.
The MTMPG. Who you gonna call?
The MTMPG.
We're the Murder Paranormal Group.
Oh, gosh. Every time. Fucking time.
All right, lady.
So, some admitted to the asylum were mentally ill, but some were not.
Of course not.
Of course not.
People would send hysterical women to the insane asylum.
Men during this time, could just drive their wives to the asylum, state she was being disagreeable, and bam, she's admitted.
You read that in every single asylum case.
Yep.
Or anything that was a poorhouse even, or anything like that. Like, oh, my
PMS,
wife,
you didn't cook dinner, you're sleeping, like, it's...
She yelled at me. Yeah. Asylum, 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 asylum.
I say all the time, my ass would not have survived. I probably would have gotten sent to an asylum for something.
Oh, like, God.
Easily.
Hell yeah. I'm not an easy to live with person. And I mean...
Some would say the same about me.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the fact that I was just thinking in my head, that's why I'm a little distracted, because I had this train of thought in my head when we were talking about this, that, you know, the saying goes, many men, not all men, I'm not going to say all men, please don't think that, but many men you can see on Facebook or anywhere, bitch is crazy, that bitch is crazy, crazy, and I wonder if that stemmed all the way back from women being sent to asylums for everything and every little thing. Maybe. You know, oh, she's crazy. Let's send her to the asylum because she's having a hysterical moment. She's crazy. So I wonder if that is something that's just continued on. Like, I wonder if that's where it comes from.
I started reading, I haven't finished it yet, but Nellie Bly back in the 1800s, she was like a journalist, and she's like, I'm going to get sent to Bly. And it was a mental hospital in New York. And she's like, I'm going to get sent there. Not crazy. It was so easy for her to get into this place. She literally just had to act crazy, talk different, and bam, she was in there. And then she, of course, talked about how awful it was, and the food was really bad, and it was cold, and there wasn't anything to do. You just sit and sit and sit.
Which drives you more crazy.
Which we'll get into that here at Eloise as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean it's just... Literally anyone could be sent there. Children were sent there, you know. If you're deemed crazy by someone else, you're that's crazy.
It. Yeah. There's no review. There's just, okay, send them in.
Yeah. So, anyway, back in, guys. Eloise also pioneered many treatments in its day. It said Eloise was one of the first hospitals to use X-ray technology to diagnose patients.
That's interesting.
It is interesting. The validity...
It's questionable.
I did a little bit of side googling. I found this, of course, in an article, maybe a couple articles, and then I wanted to kind of look in, and it was a lot of just history of the X-ray.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to like type in certain things and kind of find out if I can find another thing. I didn't, but you know what? I'm putting it in here because I did find it in an article, and it's cool.
And if it wasn't the first, it might have been one of them. So.
One of them, yes. They might have been like, okay,
early.
Here you go. You are a big hospital. Let's try this out here, see how it works before we start shipping it to other places.
Yeah.
That probably happened a lot. For the psychiatric treatments, Eloise introduced music therapy.
Okay.
This sounds...
That's not all bad.
Nice.
Yes.
So I couldn't find a concrete like definition on music therapy, but I imagine they would offer... instruments, and patients could probably like learn how to play them, have concerts, and I also believe that they had a choir. So I like this. This sounds good to me. Yeah. You know, learning a new skill, creating music, it's very stimulating, and it makes you feel good. So,
no, I mean, it's been proven that music and art therapy are very, very good for
yes. Yep, 100%. Like even when I was side Googling it still exists to this day. Yeah. They're still doing things like this. So I am okay with that. Other treatments, of course, were very questionable.
Of course.
Mental illness was not understood, even in the 1900s. So care and treatment were basically experimental. It was just trying different ways to stop behaviors.
Crazy
and
ways.
Control people.
They would call these patients crazy, but yet the things
that they did
to these patients was crazy. Like, you think no, bitch, you're crazy. What you think you're doing? No.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
100%. So, of course, Eloise would use a bunch of different methods, including electroshock therapy, hydrotherapy, and lobotomies.
I was waiting for it.
Been there.
That's why I was saying, you're crazy for thinking that a lobotomy and cracking someone's shit in their brain and they're fracturing their skulls and shit is going to actually help somebody be better. It's crazy.
Yeah, we'll get into it because I think they were doing the earlier lobotomy, too.
Oh, great.
So... yeah, I'm not going to get into the lobotomy here. If you want that, go to our Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum episode because I go deep into that. So, anyway, lobotomies. There is a story that I read on the EloiseHauntedTour.com website that stated it was the first place lobotomies were performed. And they apparently did them in the tunnels that connected under the buildings. There are, like, side rooms, so it's not just like they were in the tunnel doing their thing.
I mean, there's not great lighting in tunnels.
But that's just what it said.
Crazy.
After the facility closed in the 1980s, they apparently found vials with bits of brain down in them tunnels. That's why I think they were doing the actual, like, coring method where they took like the corings of your brain. I'm literally making a motion of coring
Scooping
right now.
ice cream.
Sorry guys. You can't see me, but she can. So yeah, because the transorbital just kind of stuck in crack. They weren't like taking out bits of the brain. So I think that's probably what they were doing.
Down in the tunnel.
Yeah. So places
where they did their shady experiments.
Spooky, yeah.
Ew. So gross. If they literally found stuff left behind, you gotta imagine how disgusting that tunnel is. That's never been cleaned.
Just specimens. And they probably were like examining those specimens, seeing if there's something that they can see wrong with it, because I don't understand what I'm treating. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating. So they of course used straitjackets for restraints as well as shackles. Many hospitals stated this was a way to keep patients safe. So they weren't hurting themselves, which that can happen if behaviors are bad. They can hit themselves and repeat things like that. But this was pretty barbaric. So many were overcrowding and that was becoming an issue. So they resorted as more of a control method to control the hospital and the patients in it because there probably weren't a lot of workers.
Well, I mean, according to this picture I'm seeing,
you can see the straitjackets.
Yeah, and they seem like they're just sitting there with each other. They don't seem like they would be... He just seems like he's sitting there talking to the other one. One of them seems bored as hell or having some sort of an issue.
Yeah, we'll get into that too.
You know, and then they don't seem like they would be thrashing at each other.
It doesn't
anyways,
seem...
even without the straitjacket.
So I think a lot of it was just a control. They probably used more than they probably fucking should have.
It was like a muzzle.
And yeah, basically.
It was like a muzzle. Yeah. Just like how they sedate old people at these nursing homes just to keep them freaking quiet and in their wheelchairs and not causing any issues or anything like that. It's pretty much the same concept.
Ugh, so bad. Treat people better, guys.
I know.
So one bizarre practice I read about was the use of steel cabinets. This is pretty strong. Yeah.
Okay.
Your face.
Like they're putting people in them.
So they would lock the patient into them and then they would use needles to inject water into their skin.
I'm confused. How do they...
I don't know how that would have helped.
How do they get in there? Are they getting in there with the patients?
No, so it's probably specially made to where you could like probably manipulate from the outside and do something like that, but it would kind of probably have restraints and keep the patient subdued.
I'm getting super choky from Matilda vibes right now. Like the choky.
Yeah, I do remember that.
But,
oh, God.
Injecting water into their skin.
How would that be beneficial?
Really strange.
I know.
Like,
I know that...
That's not hydrotherapy.
Well, there were doctors out there that were, like, still bleeding patients and, like...
Putting leeches on patients.
Inducing vomiting and thinking that they can expel it from their bodies. these practices are fucking questionable.
Why would anybody, even before science was what it is now, why would anybody think injecting someone's skin with water
Who knows?
is going to help a psychological issue?
Who the hell knows? Maybe it was a form of hydrotherapy where it like cooled them. They thought, oh, we need to cool them, which will slow them and blah, 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 blah. Which is just...
fuck?
Because that's basically what hydrotherapy was. You sat in a cold tank of water and it kind of slowed you down.
Yeah.
Stopped your behavior. So, they're cured. Asshole.
Or frozen with fucking hypothermia.
For real. Yeah. So, the facility was also plagued with rumors of just awful treatment. Of course. Mm-hmm. Patients being beaten by care workers, employee thefts, mismanagement, and of course, unsanitary conditions.
I was waiting for sexual assault.
Oh, it probably happened.
Yeah.
Didn't find it in my research. It wasn't like a big thing, but
I'm sure it did.
I'm sure it happened. Oh yeah, I'm fucking sure it happened.
That's awful. These poor people.
And always with the unsanitary, you always hear how people are just sitting in their filth.
I know, and that's like god awful. And then it's just awful to think these people, getting beaten. I can't watch the videos from like the nursing homes, daycares, places like this where they show someone abusing. I can't even watch it because it's awful. Makes me want to throw up. Like it's awful. I can't watch people being mistreated like that.
It's a terrible feeling, and
I just want to jump through the screen and just like beat the shit out of the person doing it.
Like we've said before, don't work with people if you're fucking garbage.
Yeah. And
why are you doing that job? Do a different motherfucking job.
And if it's the fact that you like doing that, then you got other issues, bro.
Yeah. Call a therapist.
Yeah, call the place that you're working at and say that you need to be in there.
Because
that's awful. Messed up.
Yeah.
All right, moving on before I keep getting mad.
Oh, every time we cover these asylums,
I know, because it's just awful every time.
Every time. It's... Ugh. So, once these hospitals started crowding, shit just seems to go downhill quick.
Of course.
There were also reports about patients being chained to walls.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Chains happened for a long time in mental health. A long time. From, like, the start of, like, those facilities to... not too long ago. So, yeah, that's not cool. Boredom was also a large problem at the facility. They did not offer other forms of entertainment, really, a lot of the time. So patients literally would sit and stare out windows or look at the floors or stare at their shoes.
It drives you insane.
Hours and hours and hours and hours.
I mean, day after day after day after day, it's just going to increase whatever mental health problem.
And even like these fellas in this photo, they're probably straight-jacketed while they're staring at the floor.
Yeah, I mean, this one guy is either sleeping or he's just like, I'm so fucking bored. Yeah. And it gives them no mind stimulation at all. That's what we need to try to do. We need to try to stimulate, like the music therapy. Yeah.
What the fuck happened to that?
Oh, there got to be too many people.
Probably.
Not enough instruments for everybody. And, you have this huge property you're on. Let them go outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Let them... kick a ball around.
And they were doing that for a while. A lot of places were kind of letting them walk around more and kind of... That was the Kirkbride plan that we talk about.
Vitamin D is a huge thing for people's...
huge thing.
Depression and mental health and stuff.
I was just talking and I was like, it's sunny. I feel a little bit happier.
Yeah.
I get a seasonal depression.
Always how it is,
when it's dark and dreary and cold and it's everlasting and I just need sunshine. And that first sunny day, it's like I'm reborn.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's how probably almost all of us get to an extent during the winter time. If you live somewhere where it's snowy and dreary. You just really need to just be able to connect with the earth and get outside when it's not making you shiver to your bones.
I know. Okay, so we're going to kind of... It's awful, but we're going to kind of switch, and it's going to get pretty sad.
Okay.
With life always comes death, and Eloise is no stranger to death.
I could imagine. Yeah. With how it being overpopulated and the conditions and
And I mean, there's a hospital as well. People sometimes die in the hospital too.
Well, yeah.
So just the whole entire area, probably those whole 900 acres is probably just fucking intense.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, like other, rolling hills and other asylums and things like that, there is a cemetery on site.
Sure.
The cemetery is said to have over 7,000 graves.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
So you said at one point there was 10,000 patients there.
Yeah.
That's literally like 3/4 of them that died.
Yeah. Over a span, but yeah.
The fuck?
Well, it's over a span of time. At their height, they had 10,000 at once that they cared for. But over the span of time, people are dying. So it's not like that 10,000 then take 7,000 out of it.
What's going on with that girl?
Yes, out of those 10,000, literally 70% died.
Yeah.
No. Math fucking
You never
sucks,
know.
guys.
Maybe they did. Maybe it wasn't over a part of time. Maybe it was.
I mean, we're gonna get into it, and there's a lot of death.
Yeah, so it might not have been.
So you never know, guys. It's crazy. And in the cemetery, there's no headstones. There's only stones with numbers on them.
Ew.
Yeah,
That's
there's no
awful
names.
for
There's
the
no
spirits, so they just
date
become a
of
number
death,
after
date
they
of
die.
birth. Yes.
Nice. Wow.
And this is basically most of the people who are buried on the property are those that didn't have family. Their family didn't want to claim them.
Sure.
They just had to kind of.
But they still know who the fuck these people are. They literally become a number when they die there.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Mm-hmm. And nobody even knows whose grave is whose.
Well, there are people in Michigan right now that are trying to organize the cemetery, find out from death records if they can see, who was buried where.
I hope they, marked something in blueprint, a graveyard blueprint.
They're trying to kind of give those people more of a memorial. Hopefully,
Yeah.
They might crowdfund and get, headstones even for some of the people. So there are people working, trying to figure that out. Which is... You don't hear about that everywhere, and that's nice.
Yeah, you don't want people, the spirits, that's got to be a really disrespectful, awful feeling of being treated like garbage there at the place your whole life, pretty much, and then
you're just
dying
discarded.
and becoming,
it's so
nobody
sad.
cares about you. Your life didn't matter to anybody.
I do think, though, that maybe that helps with more active spirits, because when people are coming to visit them, they might be like, oh, okay, yeah, let me come out. They might, start talking and...
Or take my revenge because I'm pissed. Either way.
They could, but they're also, some of those might have been mentally ill.
Yeah.
And sometimes that translates in
death.
In just, not really knowing what's going on. So they might just be happy to see people. I'm hopeful. Especially the people that are, restoring it. That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah. So, even sadder, there were also suicides that, of course, took place. People just wanted to get out of here. The only way they could think of is death. You're admitted. You're not getting out. You're not escaping.
Especially when it's just, a lot of them are just normal, not crazy people. Like the women we talked about and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And the next stories that I cover are all women.
Watch, because they were all probably fucking... Wow. I know why. I don't even have to surmise why.
Yeah, so...
They were stuck there, and they weren't even supposed to be there.
Most of them are, misses, too, so I'm pretty sure they're, all married.
Their husbands put them in there.
It's awful.
I hope their husbands feel fucking shame.
For melancholia. For just,
feeling sad.
Fuck, dude. Winter would come, and I'd be sent to a fucking insane asylum. Every time I would go... Winter, I'd probably be in the asylum, and then they'd probably let me out in the summer because I'd get a little happier, and then bam...
And how much are you beating her to make her feel melancholy? If you're the type of person that's just going to put her into the mental hospital and discard her like she's nothing, obviously something else must be going on.
Yeah. So I found some really great news articles from an array of different dates. I didn't want to go too much into it, but I did want to kind of give a couple stories to show that these places were fucking awful. So the first news article I found was headlined, Plymouth Bride Eloise Suicide. That article stated that on April 25th, Mrs. Ephraim Partridge, who had been admitted 2 other times prior to arriving at Eloise, it was at a different hospital, but she was 3 times, she drowned herself in a small lake in front of the asylum.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah, she was 25 years old. And, newly, married. 3 months, I think it said. There is the news article in front of you if you... Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They had to escape somehow. It must have just been fucking awful.
Yeah.
So, another woman who sadly ended her life whilst at Eloise was 31-year-old Julia Paniotis. She passed after jumping out of a window.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and these buildings were pretty tall when they were, the General Hospital was very big. That building is 7 stories tall, so definitely some damage.
And that was in 1938.
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. The other two, the last one was like 1903, and then the next one I'm going to cover is like 1904. So those were pretty early. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it was still awful in the 30s and 40s and 50s. And yeah. So there are, like I said before, numerous suicides. But I'm only going to talk about one more, and then we're moving on from that. But you guys gotta... This negative emotion and stuff lends to paranormal activity.
Absolutely.
You can feel it. You know what happened inside that building. So these places are just breeding grounds for paranormal. So this last story is pertaining to a death occurring in 1904. 21-year-old Elizabeth Donahue. She hung herself with her bedsheet.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, it's fucking awful.
And how funny that all of them were women.
All of them were women. Yeah. The other deaths I found of men were like after they left, or like a husband at home. His wife got admitted, and then he was like, I can't live like this. And then ultimately, took his life as well. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't like in the asylum, somewhere like hit by a car, leaving the asylum, just that kind of stuff. But women are the ones
to kill themselves.
Yeah, because it was awful.
And they weren't supposed to be there in the first place.
Yeah. So these little article snips will be on the blog, so you can kind of go in and read those for yourself, I guess. Last sadness. There's also a story which is mentioned in an episode of Destination Fear. They stated that a 12-year-old girl had drowned in a hydrotherapy tub.
I can see that happening too.
Mm-hmm. Probably happened often, unfortunately. There's probably a ton of deaths that happened from probably mistreatment, beatings.
Or what they think these
treatments
are helping exactly. Like this girl, she probably drowned because her body got too cold and she ended up slipping under the water as she lost a little bit of consciousness, and then she probably
And they
drowned.
probably put you in there and then they left to do whatever the fuck else
that is what they would do. And these tubs were really, really big, like metal tubs from what I remember from different shows I've watched and things like that. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how I imagine it. They left her too long. Her body got too cold in this ice bath. Mm-hmm. And she lost a little bit of consciousness, sunk under the water, and drowned.
Probably.
It's awful.
It is awful. So it's said that she is buried in the cemetery as well. So maybe one day they can find her and give her headstone. Mm-hmm. I did look to see if I could find like a news article, but unfortunately I couldn't. They didn't have her name, and I would have needed the name to kind of search on the site. So we're going to jump. By the 1950s, the population started dwindling, especially with the reports of abuse and misconduct being so common. Mm-hmm. So it slowly kind of starts to close down. The farm on site closes in 1958. The psychiatric division closes in 1977. There was like a larger, quote, better hospital that was built or being built. So that is where everyone would go.
Let's see how better that one was.
Mm-hmm. But the main general hospital was the one that held on the longest, and it finally closed in 1982 or 1986 or in between there. The dates kind of...
You know how that goes.
Went a little crazy. Yeah. So I was like, I'm putting them all in there.
Yeah.
So today the only buildings that remain are the fire hall, the bakery, the power plant, a commissary, and the D building, which is in there. All of these buildings are in some sort of decay. The K building is pretty much the best. So they don't really let you explore those areas because they are very dangerous. So, unfortunately. But you have a 2,000 square foot, 7-floor place that you can't look.
Owners of the place, we are the More Than Murder Paranormal Group, and we would like to ask for permission to go and explore those places. We will sign a contract that says if we get hurt, we will not come after you.
I don't even think Destination Fear. I think they just stayed to the main building.
And just walked around to the outside and saw the others probably.
Yeah, and I think there was talk of, like, you know, demolishing those buildings at some point. And even I think the smokestack that said Eloise, I think that might have been taken down. Because that was also very just dilapidated and awful.
God forbid that towers down someday.
Exactly, especially when you have tourists, like, in the building. Get
flashes of Titanic.
Yeah. Yeah, so the K building, or how it was known as the D building, that is the one that is in the best type of shape. They offer tours there, and then I'm going to get into, like, what the building looks like now, kind of what the rooms consisted of, because I couldn't make out... I can't make out... I know that that's not the general hospital. They said it was, like, an administration building where, like, they were admitted, and then each floor... might have held people, because like the 5th floor is the men's ward apparently, and then the bottom was like administration. So it's hard to tell what is the actual asylum portion. I don't know if that is still standing, but I think parts of this building were used
for all different things. If it was like,
and I had this thought while I was like maybe when all of those buildings got demolished or anything, the spirits
just went into
the other main building. Yeah. So they might still hang out in the property and the whole nine, but who knows? So
it's possible, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, maybe that's why this place is so freaking haunted.
Yeah.
So, yeah. After closing, some of the remaining acreage was sold and became a strip mall and condominiums. Because, duh.
Because why not use it for actual farmland since there was a farm there already?
Yeah, you know. There has been talk in the past about maybe turning the rest into a senior living center or even a haunted hotel.
Ooh, I'd be down with that one.
Yes, I'm so on board with that last one.
Absolutely.
And, like...
the senior living center worries me because... as we know, children and elderly people are, like, way more susceptible to seeing and feeling Hauntings, things. And so if this place really is that bad... I
feel like they're all like that, though. Rolling Hills was, like, a nursing home. Trans-Allegheny was a nursing home. Everything was, like, a nursing home afterwards.
No wonder why these old people are crazy in those places. They're always being haunted by these spirits. That's why I get worried. Honey, please don't turn it into a nursing home.
Don't send me to a nursing home ever.
I mean, it's been on TV shows and things like that. Nursing home episodes, I mean.
And even just everything that once was something is turned into a fucking nursing home.
I know.
So, they've got to be rampant. Yeah.
Poor old folks. Don't terrorize them by sending them to haunted-ass places, yo.
No, it's their last part of life to live. Make it
Don't
worth
let
it.
Be scared.
Oh,
it's God. Scary all the time.
It's already scary, you know?
I know.
Good Lord. So, no, make it a hotel, and my $1 million idea is to, like, make every room a different, like, theme. So, like, you have your hydrotherapy room, you have your shock therapy room.
Well, they probably are already like that still.
Your lobotomy room.
They're probably still like that.
So yeah, but you'd have to fix it up a little bit to, like, make it sleepable. Because you do want it to be a hotel. So, but yeah, just make every room, like, themed. That'd be fucking sick. And I would take the lobotomy room. Because I'm a wackadoo.
You don't want to take the tunnel with the brain tissue everywhere?
I don't think they'd open up the tunnel. But you know what I'd do? I'd rent a room. Or what do you say? Do you rent a room? Check into a room?
You rent a room.
Okay. So you rent a room and then you, like, get in. It's, like, late at night and you sneak down in them motherfucking tunnels.
Do some EVP spirit box sessions.
Shh, you didn't hear that, haunted hotel owner.
Scary.
Shh, you didn't hear that.
Just let us investigate.
Yeah, just let us before you turn it into a hotel. We'll just investigate. But who knows what it's going to be or turn into. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So the D building or K building is the main structure, and that's the one that's toured by, like, paranormal groups. On the 5th floor, like I said, is the men's ward. There are, of course, peeling walls, that paint just peeling off, which is just spooky in its own way.
Probably fucking lead paint, too.
Probably, yeah. Zach Bagans would have his
mask on.
Yeah.
Smart, actually.
100%. Oh, yeah. I feel like I would get, like, one of those types of masks.
I hate respirators. I was wearing one when I was... Yeah, we're not going to get into it. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So, they also say that there's still, like, an antiseptic smell that comes out of some of the areas.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
That's a gross, haunting smell.
And that's common. They say, like, if someone you love dies and you, like, smell their cigarette smoke or something, like, that's a key to you. So... Maybe, it's like a residual smell that just, that antiseptic. I don't even like fucking hospitals now. I don't want to smell that while I'm ghost hunting, please.
My dad, for the longest time, him and my mom, after his dad passed, they kept smelling his dad. They just kept smelling the cologne. And he was like, what the heck? Everywhere I go. And finally, Mom started smelling it, too. And so they went back to Debbie's house at the time, because that's where my dad's cologne was, and sniffed it. And
just to make sure
that's what it was coming from. And after that, they never smelled it again. So it was like... It was just... He was there saying goodbye, and...
Yep.
And once they figured out what it was, and he said, okay, they know it's me, then
I'm
he
good.
was done.
Yep.
So I thought that was pretty...
Smelling is a big one. A big, because they're going to affect your senses. They raise your hair. They make you feel things. So that's one of your basic senses. They're going to do things like that. And it's so fucking
super
cool.
Interesting.
It's so cool, yeah. I was like, ooh, I gotta put that in.
I know. I'm glad you did.
So it was used as an administration building for a few years after it closed. So even, I think, until like 2016, it was used as some type of administration building.
Oh, that's cool as shit. I would love to work in there.
I know. So afterwards, there's scattered desks, chairs on the main level.
Wow. I would be searching around that place after every shift.
Oh, hell yeah.
Really? People worked in there till now and it's still all messy up in there? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I
wouldn't get any work done.
No. You guys just get the bottom few floors and then they just probably closed off the rest. But yeah. And there's even... It's weird because it seems like it was just, like, abandoned. Even in 2016, there's, like, unopened mail in some places and just...
But yeah, people still work in there. Yeah.
Yeah, but it seemed like just they left when they left. And it was just done. So I don't know. It's kind of strange. Maybe it was like, all right, we're getting the fuck up out of here. This place haunted as hell.
That is really weird.
Like, people, their turnover rate was shit. Like, it was just not good at all. Quarterly numbers looking fucking awful. So, I guess there are also some of the hydrotherapy rooms that even have tubs still in them. So, it's still a lot of stuff from the original that probably holds...
Zach Bagans would make Aaron sit in one of those things.
Oh, they'd probably lay in it, and then he'd lock him in the fucking door. Yeah. Probably put him in a straitjacket first.
Probably.
But we want to ghost hunt with you, so call us. Call me.
Yeah.
Call me. Is this just the Hot for Zach Bagans podcast at this point? I think it is.
I'm your part, not mine. I want to ghost hunt with them. I don't want...
Obviously.
I'm sorry, bro. You ain't my type.
Yeah, so now we're going to get into the hauntings, the spooky stuff. Yeah. For this, I did use a few articles, which will be sourced on the blog, and I also used the Destination Fear episode from this location a little bit. I didn't get into, like, they saw this, they heard this, just, like, weird stuff that I thought was
interesting.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And I'll have that, like, episode page tagged from Travel Channel if you guys want to watch the episode.
Okay.
So, yeah, like other haunted places, especially those with a lot of negative energy, this is very intense and can be felt immediately. Reports from investigators who've gone into Eloise are strange moans, screams, and even growls.
Oh, God, the screams and then the growls, but the screams.
Even the moan, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And it's probably echoing. Oh, that's scary. It's scary. Yeah. The basement is notorious, and many are very frightened to even enter, especially alone.
Everybody's scared of any basement, though. Like,
Dude.
automatically, basements have
Are
a
awful.
terrible connotation.
Yes.
And a terrible feeling to them.
Uh-huh.
Every single time, no matter what. Basements will always be scarier than anywhere else. Same thing with, like, attics sometimes.
You'll probably see that when you watch
Yes.
our Ghost Hunt, which is premiered today. We'll get into that at the end. But, yeah, basements aren't fucking cool. I had a basement as a kid, and I felt like sometimes it scared me, but sometimes it was okay. And, like, a lot of times we'd set up, like, little playhouses down there, and we would, like, do fun things down there, but sometimes it was just, like, I don't want to go into this fucking basement.
Yeah,
and
same here with mine.
I don't even think my house
Especially
was haunted
when
I was a kid. I just did not want to, yeah. And luckily, I think it was when... So it had like 3 lights and then 2 over here went out, but we only used this half of the basement, so we only kept changing that one. And I'd have to turn it on, walk down the darkened stairs, turn the corner, and then like go into the lighted area. So I think that's when it was scary.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, okay, shit. Get out of the dark, get out of the dark, get out of the dark. I gotta turn over the laundry. Fuck this.
My basement stairs they were just like planks. They didn't have a full staircase that...
Same. They were open.
Open so you would, you're running up in the dark thinking something's going to reach through these motherfucking stairs, grab your leg.
Yes, all day long. Yeah.
So you're like picking up your feet as quick as possible, just like
and
running,
then you
running,
just fucking...
Yeah.
I've done that.
Yep.
Fall running up the fucking stairs.
Yep.
Oh, God. So basements. Creepy.
Yep.
Hashtag. And this basement, though, has a story of a creeper.
A creeper?
A creeper.
Okay.
It is some type of creature. And...
What?
Yes. They talk about
creeper?
It's said to take, like, animal form, and it has really long talons, and it's just this black, shadowy figure that lives down in the basement.
What do they surmise it is? A demon?
That I don't know. They talked about it on Destination Fear, and it was like during their interview process, and the medium was the one who was like talking about it, and she's like, I don't go down in that basement anymore. I just won't go down there.
Weird.
It's terrifying. And I guess that's where you also hear a lot of the growls is in the basement.
Huh.
So something down there doesn't want people down there.
Yeah.
So just don't go. Just hashtag don't go. Don't go into basements.
I'm going.
No.
After my performance the other night.
In the other basement. Holy fuck, dude. That was scary. Hello? Oh, yeah. So, of course, footsteps and disembodied voices are also common at Eloise.
Of course.
You'll hear running after you, pitter-patter of children. Yeah, and then tons of disembodied voices. You should watch the Destination Fear episode because there's this really cool one. It's a woman, and you literally hear her voice.
Oh, wow.
On the cameras it's caught. It's intense. Wow. It's like, I like rewound it. And I knew they were going to rewind it for me anyway, but I was like, I'm not patient enough. What was that? Because it was fucking cool, man. They didn't have to enhance or anything. It just,
oh my
right
God.
there. Yeah. So, ugh. Of course, technology is often messed with or drained as well, as ghosts will do. Mm-hmm. They do this, of course, in order to communicate, get up their energy. So if your battery dies super quick, or your walkie-talkie is being weird.
Sometimes they just like to play with the technology, too, from past experiences. Some spirits seem to like to be like, what the fuck is this? Let me play with this.
Exactly.
This takes a picture? Let me try. Peeky peek.
So, in the Destination Fear episode, their motherfucking walkie-talkies were getting tons of feedback. It would just go, and it, like, they're in the basement at this point, and it's freaking, like, even if it's not a ghost and it's just your walkie-talkie making a problem, that sound is scary in a basement in the dark.
Yeah.
You just, it's like, what the fuck, man? Ugh, I don't like it.
Unfortunately, walkie-talkies are so hard to tell because you can still pick up on signals from nearby reporters.
Yes, but they had another episode where their walkie-talkies just weren't working at all. Mm-hmm. They're all sleeping in different areas, and he's like, hello, nothing. And those are for safety. That's for, like... Yeah, no, he, like, turned it on, everything. So, another scary phenomenon that happens at Eloise is loud bangs emanating through the building.
Ooh, that's scary.
These are the large doors slamming shut on their own. All the time. It happens it's like one of those big things that just, if you're there, that usually happens. Local paranormal groups have fled the building in sheer terror, reporting shadow figures seen out of the corner of their eyes and objects being literally picked up and thrown.
I know. I try to think sometimes what would be my limit if we were doing an investigation.
I know. Like this right here, that like I shivered all over my. I'm like, this place is scary, dude.
But like at the same time, it'd be like, holy shit, what evidence? Let's go back in. I want more. I'm like, I don't know what my limit would be. I don't. I'd have to see when we're in there.
And that's the thing about this place, and I haven't gotten into it much yet, but this is a lot of poltergeist activity. When things are picked up, thrown, that's a lot of poltergeist.
Doors being slammed.
It sounds pretty scary, dude, when it's getting real physical and, like, sounds are one thing, whispers are one thing, but I don't know. I don't know, man.
I don't know mine either. I
guess we'll have to find out. We'll find out when we're literally just
we'll go here someday.
Screaming and running for our lives, so, yeah.
But the scary thing is that we have, like, so much equipment that we have to pick up. We can't just, like, haul out and leave the building. We have to, like, literally stay in there packing up equipment.
Not necessarily, though, because if we're locked down, it'll only be us. So if we need to get out just really quick and just kind of like, okay, build ourselves. Because I'm not leaving for the night.
I know.
I'm just going to calm myself down, just get some fresh air, even though you go outside of this place and outside's haunted.
It's still scary.
So it's like a lose-lose fucking situation.
I know.
Where would you rather be scared, outside or inside? I think inside. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I can run away.
I guess trapped inside. I just feel like
it could trap. See here, rather than being trapped inside, I feel like it could trap me inside, like locking doors, not letting me leave.
My paranoia from outside is more of like a physical, like someone coming to like kill me or do like that's my fear. So like I think about it like when I'm home, I'd rather be inside and I feel safer from anything out there.
But paranormal wise though, like you're probably not going to run into some serial killer trying to kill you, hopefully.
No, man, we get those rational thoughts because we're like, we just told everybody where the fuck we are for the night and we're locked down all alone.
Well, we just don't know, and we say sometime we're going to be locking down.
We go live at the place.
I know.
We'll just be like, we're not at the place. No, my bedroom's really this spooky, guys. It's okay.
I live in a castle. I live in an insane asylum.
That's what Finney thinks.
Yeah, he does.
Every place is a castle.
When you were in that dark, scary castle. Oh, that's so funny. He wants to know all the things about our paranormal investigation. He was sitting there listening to our sounds, asking to hear them again. He's like my kid through and through. Dude. He is such a ghost lover.
And that's good. That's a good thing.
He gets scared by it, but he likes it, just like
it's the same with us.
To be. Like,
we were afraid, but we want to go back. We want to keep doing it because it's such a cool feeling.
But I didn't feel that afraid there. The only place I felt creeped out was in the basement. It's because it's a basement. We didn't even hear things in the basement.
No, and I think
even hearing the recordings played back, I'm still not scared to be in that place. Like knowing something, sneak peek, chased us down the stairs, you'll be able to hear that tonight's episode. I'm not afraid of that. Because when it came to run with us, it was almost like, wait for me. Yeah. I want to be there. Not like I want to come after you. Because I felt no ominence.
No, I didn't either. I think it's going to be different when we do the other asylums and the jails. And
I'm intrigued. I'm excited to see the difference in the feelings.
We know dark shit fucking happened at these places.
Mm-hmm. And dark shit meaning like abuse and murder and things like that, rather than just like, fire happened there assault, and stuff.
Like all that stuff, like just dark, negative energy. Yeah. And that's...
So I didn't feel quite scared, but it will come.
It's just...
It will come in the right place. It will come. Because I can feel vibes. And like, there were times when I felt a little off. Like, for instance, I was thinking about this earlier, when we were interviewing the owner, and we were sitting down on the boxes. Yeah. And you were like, well, what do we say? My mind was blank. Yeah. Like, I couldn't think of anything for some reason. I was just like, I have no idea. Like, was something affecting me? I don't know, because we were in that corner.
Yeah, that fucking corner, man.
So, I don't know.
See that corner, guys. But, unless you've already watched the episode, because it dropped today. But we'll, Oh. Yeah. So, to wrap up the episode, I just want to hint on one more little fact. There was a movie called Eloise that came out in 2016.
Which we're going to watch, no matter how it was.
Yes, it is a psychological thriller, which I really like psychological thrillers. I like them a lot.
I'm a fan, but I'm not at the same time. I can't stand it when it's like, oh, she turns out to be crazy in the end, because I'm like,
well, it depends on what it is. I don't like it if it's too action. I like it more when it goes into the horror genre of like psychological thriller, not like the action-y. Like, there's a fine line. Yeah. So I like it more scary with a little bit of psychological, like, whoa, that's mind fucking. Holy fuck. So we'll see how this one goes. But it's based on the asylum and its hauntedness. So that comes into play.
Nice.
It stars Chase Crawford and Eliza Dushku.
Eliza Dushku.
Oh, Dushku. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And, of course, fun fact, she was Missy in Bring It On, of course.
And Faith and Buffy.
Yes.
If you're me, and that's what rings the bell for you.
So, the basic premise of the movie is about a guy's father who passes. And he is left $1.2 million.
Okay.
Yeah. I only watched the trailer, so that's all I really know. But based on that, there is a stipulation. I guess his aunt was sent to Eloise Asylum.
I was going to say, where does this asylum come
but was never released.
Okay.
So they have to make sure that she is deceased in order for him to get the inheritance, because there's like a stipulation in there.
No one wanted to check on her before this fucking money. Now that they want to make sure the money comes, and he's like, let's make sure this bitch is dead.
Basically, yeah.
Wow. So, great. Maybe that's why I got terrible ratings.
Probably. So he has to like go to Eloise, because of course Eloise is where the death certificate is going to be, you know, in this decrepit, abandoned place, because that's just how it happened. And yeah, it leads him and like his buddies. There's a couple of people in there. They go to Eloise on the hunt for this, and they encounter like spirits and evil people and doctors and things like that, apparently. Wow. Okay. So yeah, it had an 11% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my, that is very low.
11.
That is very low.
11. So we're gonna add it to our long list of movies. It's probably gonna be one of those like, we're gonna talk through it the entire time, roast the fuck out of it. Maybe we'll fucking record it, because we're pretty funny when we watch movies. Not to Gustavo. He hates watching movies with us. You gotta talk the entire time. Yeah. Yeah, I do. We're those people.
When we watch movies together, especially.
But it's only when we're together. We don't do it in, like, a movie theater.
No, and if my husband, he's not the type to, like, talk the whole time, so I'm not going to talk with him when we're watching a movie.
Exactly.
I just quiet.
And a lot of times it's just us watching it because we, you know, it's not his movie he wants to watch. Yeah. So it's fine. So, yeah, that is the Haunted Eloise Psychiatric Hospital.
I like it and I don't. So I want to go and I want to go and I want to go.
Yeah, so there is a tour site, www.eloisehauntedtours.com. Go check that out if you want to plan a visit.
We've got friends in Michigan. We also have friends neighboring in like Illinois and stuff. So if any of you guys ever go over there, check it and let us know, please.
Check it out.
We can't make it over there just yet.
No, not just yet. But they also, like, if the paranormal part is a little too scary for you, you're not feeling that vibe, they do like a historical tour that you can take. Cool. So yeah, it's really nice and inclusive. Yeah. I clicked on the private investigation button on
how much was it?
You have to email them to find out. So you email them your name and then how many people in your party, and then they email you back prices. So probably $1 billion, but I was very tempted to.
Well, if the Travel Channel or Discovery Plus gets this, please give us a TV show, and then Anywhere will let us do it without really paying too much, because they'll get... So please give us a TV show.
Call us, give us a TV show. Just like give us a TV show, dude. Like,
we're told it's worth it, I promise.
And we're the group that'll go to like all the places in like Ireland.
Dude, we'll go anywhere. All the small places, big places, different countries, anywhere.
All the fucking places. All
Send us everywhere.
Everywhere.
Wherever you want us to go, we will go.
Yeah. What would we call our show? We couldn't just call it the More
Than Murder Paranormal.
Oh, we could just do More Than Murder Paranormal, yeah.
Yeah.
We could, yeah. Give us a show, okay?
Yeah, give us a show. We're ready.
Give us a call, email us. I'll let you know the email at the end.
For it and everything.
Because we know that the big executives at Travel Channel and Discovery Plus are listening. We know it.
Yeah.
So, thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thanks.
That's a good segue.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate that. So, anyway.
And thanks to everybody else, too.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was
not
to
just
everybody.
Travel Channel. No,
it was written to everybody, but it was a good segue because we were telling Travel Channel.
Travel Channel.
The Travel Channel.
Yeah.
The Travel Channel.
Sean Connery.
John Connery, yes. Zach Bagans on the Travel Channel.
This is Zach Bagans.
Oh, God. Anyway, yes, guys, thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. And in the meantime, like us on all the
social.
Subscribe first to our YouTube channel. Do not describe our YouTube channel, just subscribe to it. And that is More Than Murder. Our first episode of our paranormal series dropped today.
Super stoked, super stoked.
Yes.
Please let us know what you think because it's incredible.
Go check it out and then hit the bell and then the subscribe and all the stuff.
Yeah.
So. Yes, go check it out. Let us know what you fucking think. Comment on the video.
Tag Travel Channel, tag the other
Discovery
ones.
Plus, tag Zach Bagans, tag Nick Groff,
tag Loie Lane,
tag Loie, tag fucking BuzzFeed Unsolved, tag them all, dude.
Because we mentioned that.
Well, I'll go in and tag them all.
Yeah.
I got no shame. So, yeah, after you do that, go over to our socials.
If you haven't already.
Which you should have, because we know.
We tell you every week to do it.
But there is a new thing that you can, join and things, so we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Find us on Facebook at...
More Than Murder.
Find us on Twitter at...
More Than Murder Pod. Or, wait.
More Than _murder.
Yeah, that's right. So, Twitter at... More Than _murder.
And then find us on the Instagram at...
More Than Murder Pod.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. And once you're on Facebook and you've liked the page, join our brand new Facebook group.
Yes, do.
Yes.
Do. Have all of your people else join too.
All of them. It's the place to post anything true crime or paranormal or even get to know your hosts. It's just the place for it all.
You want to get to know us so badly.
Yes. So just search More Than Murder Pod, not your typical true crime group, and join in on the fun.
Yes, please.
Yes. And then this is for Travel Channel and Discovery Plus, but of course also our listeners. But if you want to email us anything, hint about our show, new show, or if you're a listener and you just want to tell us what you're thinking about, or you have cool stories that you want to share, you can email us at the Gmail, morethanmurderpod@gmail.com. And then lastly, go over to the blog. We have pictures and sources from all of the episodes. This is 30, guys. Episode 30.
Woo!
Woohoo!
That's exciting.
It is so exciting. So
that means we've been doing this for 30 weeks.
Holy motherfuck.
30 weeks we've been doing this for.
Okay, we need a round of applause. Or snaps. Let's do some snaps. Snaps for episode 30. Oh, we're doing it. We're doing the thing. All right. So, yes.
And over 1,400 downloads. Travel Channel, just so you know.
Yes, Travel Channel. And Discovery Plus. Don't we forget about. I think you start out on Travel Channel, then you move to Discovery.
Yeah, and
that was awful. But
it would be 1,400 last week, so by now with this episode, I'm sure we're at 15. So
we're at 1 billion now.
Yeah, right? We're at 15,000.
Just how it's going. So go watch our paranormal series episode, comment on that, go listen to the episode, then go to the blog, check out all the pictures of all the past things, because we know you want to.
And then leave us a review anywhere and everywhere you can.
Oh,
and
yes.
Let us know when you do.
All day.
So we can send you goodie bags and give you a shout out.
On Apple and Facebook if you can.
Yes.
And even go into the motherfucking group and be like, I give this podcast 1 billion stars because I love the hosts and I love what they talk about.
So funny.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. But on Apple, that does help us chart, and it gets us on charts, and it helps people see us that might not. So definitely, if you're an Apple listener, if you can take some time out of your day, email us when you do it. We will send you some good stuff.
Yep. You can even put thumbs up on all of our YouTube content, too. Don't forget, I think you can thumbs up all of our episodes and things like that. So people can see those, too.
Go do it, and then share it, and like it, and comment it, and do all the things. So,
yes.
Yeah, so email us, or no.
We already said that. We'll see you soon.
I didn't say the website yet.
Oh.
Because we got off and then we started the Apple thing. So, yes, go check out the pictures at the blog. You can do that at www.morethanmurderpod.com. We shall see you next week, guys. Bye.